In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
Check. It's coming at you.
What's up, everybody? Big Grizz dub today. It's your boys from the Two Buck Sports Show, Rusty Buckets, Drew Gann, coming to you live from the Gann household. Getting a post-game bounce in together. Uncle Buck, man, what a win for the Grizz, even if I had to spend it here with you.
Yeah, hey, the pleasure's all yours, if I'm being honest with you. You know, we got together today. He got to come see the baby. You know, he didn't just come to see me. He don't come just to watch Grizzlies games. But we did get to watch the Grizzlies win together. We got to see Ja Morant play basketball. And I may be back. I may be back.
That makes one of us, because if nothing else, I'm just more annoyed at the fact that this is who Ja Morant is, and yet he continues to sit on this week in, week out, night in, night out. Ja's a true superstar who can influence the game. 24 points, 5 rebounds, 13 assists today. And it's something he could do all the time. Problem is, he chooses not to for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, let's just not be a curmudgeon today. We went over, we make it a habit here in the great United States of America not to lose when the world stage is watching. When the world is watching, the Grizzlies don't lose, especially when England is involved. Because since 1776, we're undefeated when the Brits are involved or watching. So let's just enjoy that. Listen, we're going to get into Ja Morant. Ja Morant is the story, will continue to be the story until the trade deadline, if not further. But listen, he was amazing today. It's absolutely stunning today. It's exactly the reason why you are mad, and I'm just gonna choose to continue living and dying one way or the other. Like I don't know. I know everything will change. My mood will change from from day 1 to day 2 to day 3. I will ride the wave, but it's going to change.
Yeah, we're having some audio issues. We're trying to do this live and in person together, so I'm fixing to switch this up. Drew, we're going off the mics, and we're going
to my MacBook. It may not sound as good, but at least you get to look at our beautiful faces here. And so hopefully that helps. If that didn't help, y'all let us know. We're not the technical branch of this company. That would be Kenny. We thought we'd try something a little different today, and so we're just getting there. But the Memphis Grizzlies, we got to win. I'm going to ride the wave. I'm going to enjoy it. This is a lot of fun that we got to win today, and I'm not upset. Beggars can't be choosers, especially in this season that has been one that is less than desirable of the outcomes that we've had, Drew. It's been tough to watch, so I'll take a win where I can. I'm just not willing to dive back in on the Ja Morant thing and say, I'm all the way back in on 12, because I found myself, just like I said, a little more annoyed today that we're not getting this every game, and instead he gets in his feelings and doesn't allow us to be, what we could be with him playing.
Well, and here's the thing that's always been the overwhelming theme of the season, if not the last 2 seasons, is like, just wait till we get healthy. Just wait till Ja gets back. Just wait till Edie comes back, or Ty Jerome, or last year with a little bit of Tripp, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Just wait till everybody gets healthy. And we've always just been kind of waiting with bated breath, hoping that this day might come, and it just never would. And today we got another glimpse of what it could look like. Listen, I have never one time said that this team would be better off without Ja. If we traded Ja, it would be forsaking the ceiling of this team, and you were waiting for an emergence of another superstar, maybe on this team, maybe in the draft, but you are going to be waiting until you get somebody to fill the shoes, the superstar, best player, best caliber player that could win on a national stage. You've got to have the best player that could be the best player in a playoff series. This team doesn't have one if it's not Ja.
Sure.
And so that's where I've just kind of been like, I guess I'm just going to continue to ride the wave. I said Thursday on the $2 Sports Show that.
Go back on your mic. We're getting back on the mics because apparently it was better on the mics, even with a little bit of echo. But while Drew's getting his pulled up, like, y'all bear with us. We're not professionals. Y'all know who we are.
Check.
The show. So Drew's back.
Yeah, so I said it on the $2 Sports Show on Thursday. I guess the only show I did last week is that, you just kind of have to deal with the wave of it, and you're not going to trade Ja for nothing. And if the best asset that you're going to get from a Ja Morant trade is just not having to deal with Ja Morant anymore, then I'm not willing to make that trade yet. And I felt validated in that today, but I do understand, Rusty, where you're coming from, because, listen, it could all go back and revert back as soon as they get into the States. Maybe it's something about the city of Memphis, Tennessee, and his home in Eads that is just some kind of laboratory for dysfunction. Maybe that's what it is. But listen, this was a check mark in favor of the people who want to just ride it out with Ja.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that, and maybe I don't know anybody that has been sad on a European vacation. I believe it was Kanye that said, how you gonna be mad on vacation? And so I get where Josh having fun. He's bringing the vibes at practice. He is dancing before practice and during practice, and that's great. But I need to see more like this consistently before I'm all the way back in. Today, I am happy. He's the best player in franchise history. He can be. When he plays and he plays hard, he's in that echelon for me with Zach Randolph and the guys in the past that were just truly this night in and night out. But we don't get it consistently enough. Either way, we got it today and got a big win, 126-109. Memphis Grizzlies over the Orlando Magic across the pond in London. Drew, outside of Ja, we talked a lot about a few other players while we were watching it together. Other players that stood out to you besides Ja Morant?
Listen, it's all about Jays with the Grizzlies. I don't know if you remember this. There's been times where it seems like the Grizzlies just go for Jays. We got Jaylen, we got Ja, we got Jaren. But I'm going to talk about Jock Landale. Was amazing. Stat line, what? Wait, now you put your arm in the way. Come on. I'm trying to do a show here. All right. Jock Landale, 21 points in 23 minutes, 1 of 2 from 3, 2 free throws, and where's my rebounds? 8 rebounds. So, yeah, I mean, 6 of them were offensive rebounds. Jock Landale has been absolutely incredible, and it's one thing that we've talked about a lot with Jock Landale. It's that just give it to her. Jeez.
One of the things that as we've got kids in the house, this is chaos, and that's what it is. We love this about our lives and doing this together. But what you got from Jock Landale was pressure on both sides of the floor, getting offensive rebounds, getting defensive rebounds, like hustling down the court, being what Jock Landale can be, and that's that glue guy off the bench. He's going to be the perfect complement to Edie when he's healthy, and he can do the things that Edie does well, along with a whole other skill set.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And what I was saying before my kids decided to start fighting over strawberries and grapes was that you've seen Jock Landale in a role that fits Jock Landale. No, he's not a starting center in this league, and he doesn't need to be going up against Wemby and all the dominant Jokic's and all that kind of stuff. But what Jock Landale is like just your typical try-hard player. Like, he's going to get your rebounds. He got 6 offensive rebounds today, 2 defensive rebounds, 2 blocks. Like, buddy, just give me Jock Landale. I love it. I love watching him play. He caught so many strays earlier in the season, and it was because he was just playing out of position. So, yeah, Jock Landale for me was the one that really stood out today outside of Ja Morant.
Yeah, I agree. Jock does those hustle things well, those things that really help the team to win in winning moments, and that's what Jock was for us today. I also am I'm a known Jaren Jackson enjoyer. I have stand for GG, and I have fought for GG to get minutes and be a part of this team. And he's finally coming into his own as a player. He's finally becoming like the guy that we know he can be in this system, and that's a good role player who can get you buckets, who can give you some energy off the bench. 7 points, 3 of 7 from the field. Wasn't great from 3, 0 of 2, but he had 4 rebounds. GG is kind of developing his game to be a role player on this team, Drew. And he's the guy that I would petition, like, shout out Chris Ingram, hashtag start GG at the 3. I think that there's a world not too far in the future where we have a Ja, Cedric, GG, Jaren, Zach Edey starting lineup. And that gives you athleticism. That gives you points. Defense is a little to be desired there, but Jaren and Ced can carry that a little bit more in the backcourt. Edey will anchor the paint. We've seen him be a paint protector. But Jaren plays well defensively in space with an anchor, and I think Ced and Jaren could make up for a lack of defense from Ja and GG.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the thing that set GG apart over the last stretch since he did his latest G League stint as punishment is that he's not killing himself. He's not killing the team. He's not doing more than what he needs to be doing. Anytime GG's been a problem, it's because GG's trying to be Jordan out there, and he's not been Jordan. He's just – how many turnovers did he have today? He had 2 turnovers in 18 minutes. Smashing success for GG Jackson. He only took 7 shots, 3 of 7, 2 threes. It just showed you that he's taking what's given to him. And 4 rebounds. Like, GG Jackson is a solid role player right now. Now, we got us ahead of our skis with GG. I tried to tell everybody to pump the brakes after his rookie year. It's like we got ahead of our skis with GG because we saw what he was doing on a team that was absolutely dreadful, pathetic, abhorrent. You want me to keep going? In that season where he just went nuclear his rookie season, played 28 players in a season, I think, and it's taken him to this point to kind of see success in just playing his role. And I mean, hats off to him, because anybody that can do that can take your ego down a notch purposefully, especially at that age with that much talent, to take your ego down a notch and just play within a system. Shoot, it's what we're asking Ja to do, and we're just asking to, like, hey, just show up and play, you know. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, I mean, we just need hoopers on this team. We need guys who are going to show up and play, and that's what we've gotten from GG. That's what we've gotten from Jock Landale and Cam Spencer today as well. Cam had 10 points, 2 of 4 from 3. He shot 50% again on 4 attempts, kind of getting back to the more normal Cam Spencer that we know and love, and not the one we've seen struggling over the course of the last few games. But we got a lot of good minutes from a lot of our role players, including Jaylen Wells, who's caught a lot of flack. Myself, I just said I don't know that I want him in the starting lineup anymore, but today was a better Jaylen game. He had 10 points, 3 of 4 from 3. The shot was falling a little bit more outside, but I still it leaves a little bit to be desired for me from a starting 3. Yes, I'm like Wayno. I get nervous when GG starts dribbling because he's going to dribble a hole in the floor, and he looks down, he turns the ball over a lot, but he's athletic, and he can play downhill and be a lob threat for Ja that Jaylen just isn't. But today was a good Jaylen Wells. Again, 3 of 4 from 3, ended up 3 of 5 from the field. I'll take that from him. I just would like to see it more off the bench.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to figure out the 3 position until you get your lineup back. You get Edey back in there, because Edey is going to shift Jaren to the 4, and then you can have Ced play the 3, and then you've got the 2-man. You can go with Ja and, you know, KCP or Wells or GG, whoever. I don't know. But GG and KCP, like, they're both bench players. They just are. And whoever we're trying to fit in here is we're trying to fit in a bench player into the starting lineup. And so whoever can be a part of that unit successfully is who's going to play. Like, I want to see Ced at the 2. And so I had hopes for Jaylen coming into the season that he would be like a Jalen Williams kind of thing, you know, where he would learn to dribble and get to the basket and be big. Turns out when he dribbles, he's just really, really bad, as everybody says, hey to my daughter. He's just not been good dribbling the basketball.
Yeah, and that kind of plays into this point here by Keith. Appreciate you, Keith. Appreciate everybody being here. If you're here, give us a thumbs up. It helps us more than you know, moves us up in the algorithm, and helps us to continue to grow and be available for y'all as the only shows in Memphis that allow you as the fans to interact with us in the comment section. We appreciate y'all coming hanging out with us. But yes, when KCP and Jaylen Wells take like one or two dribbles and hit that mid-range, that's their game. KCP is a mid-range assassin, just absolutely lethal from like 14, 15 feet with that little pull-up jumper. And I think Jaylen Wells can be that same kind of guy. You got good three-point Jaylen Wells today. I don't know that we're going to get that consistently, but a good three-point Jaylen Wells game is good. But I'm with Keith Fisher here. I think that we need to get more KCP and Jaylen inside the arc and get more of those mid-range shots on, like, even if it's like an up fake, dribble in, two dribbles, and then pull up, like a DeMar DeRozan type shot. I think that's where KCP and Jaylen Wells can make a living on this team and be the veteran in KCP who we need. I like that from him. KCP's been playing better as of late. 7 points, 3 of 8 from the field today. After a tough stretch, it's nice to start getting some of those vet minutes back from KCP.
Yeah, I thought KCP has flourished since he's gone to the bench role. You know, he was miscast as a starter on this. It just didn't work as a starter to start the season. It worked out perfectly because when Ced made it undeniable he was going to be in the starting lineup, it helped both of them. And so, yeah, they're bench guys. Listen, the bench is going to get a little hairy because you're going to be guard heavy on the bench when Ty Jerome inevitably comes back, if Ja Morant stays on this team going forward. And Cam Spencer said all these guard / wings that we've got out here, it's going to get a little bit hairy as to see who gets minutes. And then way late in the season, you're going to see Scottie Pippen Jr. too. Some of those are going to go down. But listen, I'm thrilled with how today went. Listen, everybody wants to talk about Ja Morant. I get it. That's all we're talking about here. It's about the only piece of news. Listen, we went and dominated the Magic today after struggling, dominating the Magic in the first half. We really, 6 out of the last 8 quarters dominating the Magic before we just fell apart on Thursday's game.
Shout out Silky G. I have hated a little bit. I don't hate Ja, but I just said I'd like to see it a bit more consistent. I agree with Drew. Like we played really well in the first half of the last game. We outscored them huge in the first half today, but got outscored by 2 in the second half. But we had built such a commanding lead at halftime that it just kind of was. It was what it was, and we were able to kind of coast to victory here. I'm not upset about anything. Like it was a good Ja Morant game. It was a good Grizzlies game. It was a good Grizzlies win on an international stage with everybody watching that we desperately needed. Like, especially with all the PR and all the bad stuff circling the Grizzlies with all this Ja Morant drama, it was nice to just go and win a friggin' basketball game, because that's what made Thursday so much worse. Was we had a big lead, we were playing really well, everything was going good, and then it fell apart, and then we're back in the negative news cycle again around Ja Morant. Instead, we go get a win today, Drew, and get a big win that was much needed. Wayno's asking, what were your thoughts on Jaren today? We hadn't talked about him yet.
The thing that I talk about with Jaren a lot is that you can't really the problem with Jaren is that, can you trust him to be the number one guy? If Ja's not there, can you trust him to be the number one guy? Ja was there today. He wasn't having to be the number one guy, and he was really good.
And that's what you need from Jaren. You need a guy who is he's a table setter. We've known about this. Jaren's not a killer. He's not the guy in the fourth quarter. We've known that. That's who Ja Morant is when Ja Morant plays. And today, Jaren was fine. Like you said, 17 points, 2 of 4 from 3. It was a more like kind of complete game. He did get banged up. He had that weird, like awkward land in the second or third quarter where he kind of got jarred. I think it was maybe that was first quarter when he got jarred pretty hard contesting a Banchero like little bunny. I thought Jaren played fine. I thought Jaren was he was a good Jaren today. He wasn't a net negative. He finished plus 17. Too many times in games where we win, he's a negative, right, on the net rating. Today, we didn't get that. And like Kenny said, that's okay. We had a great Ja Morant game. We had Jock Landale. Like, too many people, and I understand why we pay him superstar type money, and he's a role player. Jaren is a Robin. He needs a Batman. Today, that was Ja Morant. There's nothing wrong with having a Robin when you've got a Batman. I think we just paint too much extra pressure on Jaren to go be the guy when after 8 years, we should know better. Listen, we got kids running around, dogs, all kind of stuff here.
Listen, the problem with Jaren has always been expectations. You want him to take another leap. He's really good just as he is, and we need to expect that. And anytime that we've hated on Jaren Jackson Jr., what would have helped Jaren Jackson Jr. a lot is if Ja Morant was playing basketball. It's just as simple as that. And I thought he was really good today. If he had to Lone Ranger this thing by himself again today like he did on Thursday, it would have probably been bad. Like that's just kind of how it is. Maybe in the future he can steer the ship by himself. It's just not what he is now. And we've been doing this for 8 years with Jaren. Like, he is what he is. You either love him for it or you hate him for it. And lots of people love him for it. So, or we choose to love him for it anyways.
Yeah, it just leads to a much more fulfilling life when you're not just down and out on the one player who is consistent, shows up, available, and I mean consistently playing. When, as Wayno so eloquently put it here, Ja Morant had bought you a pretty dress and you already forgave him and made him dinner after he did his little hip shimmy at practice yesterday. Like, I hope we continue to get this Ja Morant going forward. But like I told Drew asked me earlier what it would take for me to be all in on Ja again. And I said I need him to play 10 consecutive games with this type of pace and energy and survive a playoff series, because he survived exactly one in his Grizzlies history. I need to see him play more consistently like this across more games. It's been 3 years since he's played 7 or more games in a row, and one game is not going to undo that for me.
Yeah, so, and here's my synopsis with Ja. Like, listen, anybody who takes what we saw today, where he was awesome, best player on the court, everything the Grizzlies fans love about Ja Morant, you saw it today. And if anybody looks at that and says, okay, he's back, like, I sympathize with that, because that's what you want. That's what you want, right? You want to look at that and you want to be like, okay, Ja's figured it out. But the reality is we've said that 1,000 times, and what happens is that he gives you a reason later to realize that, oh, the good Ja is the flash in the pan, the malcontent Ja is the standard Ja. However, you've got to separate what my feelings about Ja are and what I think we need to do with Ja is, because my feelings about Ja after this game changed because, like, once again, you see it, and it's just like, it just kind of continues hammering home. I said early in the show, listen, I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to ride this roller coaster with Ja, because when I look at what he did today, I see a guy that could be the best player in a playoff series for 7 games. I see a superstar. I see all NBA. I see the future is bright and shiny with Ja Morant that played in London tonight. I get that. And that's the guy you're trading. And that's the problem I have with all the trade talk, is that's the guy you're trading too. You're also trading the malcontent, but you're also trading the best player on your team. And so, forgive me if I'm not going to get excited about trading Ja Morant and getting back Ryan Rollins. If we got back Seth Rollins, yeah, absolutely. If we got back Ryan Rollins in the first round, forgive me for not getting excited about that. Like, we're trading away the best player on our team. My hope, and this is what I said on the $2 Sports Show Thursday too, my hope is that he figures it out. Like, that is the best case scenario. The best case scenario is not getting rid of the drama. The best case scenario is Ja figuring it out, being the superstar, and regaining his crown as the all-NBA top 3-point guard in the NBA. That's what I'm holding out for. And it's not, getting off of the drama is not worth, to me, getting back nothing for Ja Morant.
Couldn't agree more. And I'm not sitting here saying we need trading for peanuts or this package from Miami that does not include any of Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, Khalil Ware, or any of those guys. Like, we're not going to trade him for peanuts, and that's why we're in a better position than Atlanta was with Trae Young. I'm not saying we need to trade Ja Morant right now. What I'm saying is that I'm frustrated because this Ja Morant exists, and he's sitting there on the bench in his, sweatpants and pajamas and big puffy hoodies and all that. I saw that comment earlier. Adam Silver absolutely made the phone call. We all saw the photo circulating of Adam Silver talking to T and Uncle Phil and hanging out with him on the sideline. And it was a very tense conversation. And that conversation was, Ja, get your scrawny butt out there and play. He needs to quit with the shenanigans. We need Ja Morant to play. And look what happens when he plays. That's my whole point, is we know this is who Ja Morant is. We just don't get it on a consistent basis. And it's frustrating because there's a world where this guy plays for us like this every night. We've seen it in the past, in years past, when he's played like 65 or 67 games, and we got this consistently. Josh played 78 games since the start of the 2022 season. 78 games now. And so I'm frustrated, but I love watching the dude play. And I'll admit, Memphis is better with Ja Morant, and Ja Morant is better in Memphis. We just need this Ja.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Listen, my whole argument is not telling anybody how to feel. Like, if you are begrudgingly rooting for the Grizzlies despite Ja Morant playing because you hate Ja Morant and you feel like a battered spouse, I get it. If you're saying, like, you have to survive getting beat because he's the best player on your team, I kind of get it. Like, I'm just kind of somewhere in the middle. Listen, my only point and the only way I will be upset about it is if you trade him for relatively nothing, like a salary dump. You have to get Ja Morant value, or else I'm going to be mad. And because this is the scenario that I've laid out that keeps me up at night. I lose sleep over this. And it's not just the 7-day-old baby that keeps me up. It's also this thought. It's that if Ja Morant gets traded, let's just pick a team. Say Milwaukee. That's the one that everybody's talking to right now. You get back Ryan Rollins, a first-round pick. Say you even get back, after this game where he was awesome, say you even get back Bobby Portis, okay? Ja Morant goes nuclear aside Giannis Antetokounmpo in a weak Eastern Conference. They surge after the All-Star break, get in the playoffs, make it to an Eastern Conference Finals. Are you happy that you traded Ja Morant? No, I won't be happy. I won't look at that and be like, oh, well, Ja just needed a change of scenery, which probably part of it. But, like, you traded him. And you know what you got back? Ja Morant's going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you've got Ryan Rollins and a first-round pick. Like, I'm sorry, that just doesn't excite me. I would rather just keep the guy you got at home, and hopefully it works it out.
Yeah, Grizz Girl, great point here. Like, we don't know the whole story. Yes, Zach Kleiman really shot last season in the foot with the whole Taylor Jenkins, T.I. debacle, as she puts it here. I think cooler heads can prevail, and Ja Morant would end up being on this team, which would be great to see, which would be fun to watch. But I'm with Wayno here. This is my point. Like, he he said it way better, more eloquently than I could have.
You can't even say eloquently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no one wants Ja traded, but me especially, no one else wants more of the same that we've had over the last 3 seasons. Like, I need to see this on a consistent basis before I finally had enough. I am Jennifer Lopez in the movie Enough. Like, I've been beat on, I've been pushed around, and I'm tired of taking my self-defense classes, and I'm standing up for myself. I ain't getting pushed around by Ja Morant's hot and cold nature anymore.
Yeah, and I think everybody just needs to get to that point where we're like, oh, I'm not going to get bothered by Ja anymore because you're just going to approach this with a more modest, centric, neutral mindset. It's like, you've got to be never too high, never too low in an 82-game NBA season. You also have to be never too high, never too low when Ja Morant goes nuclear or when Ja Morant melts down. Like, I don't know what to do. All I know is I can see the life after Ja, and the only way that Grizzlies fans look back at this and they trade Ja and they look back with happiness that they did this, it's because yes, that's right. It's because Ja Morant's trajectory continued downward and he crashed and burned. He's out of the league in 3 years because he just can't keep his head on straight. I don't think that's the most likely outcome.
Agreed. And like when Zach Edey is back playing, those 5-6 minutes we saw of Ja and Zach Edey playing together were like chef's kiss. They both had 6-7 points. They were cooking in that little time frame. And so we know there's a path in the future of us being really good with Ja Morant on this team when Zach Edey's healthy, when Ty Jerome is no longer out there in his fuzzy pajamas and his loungewear and playing basketball. Like, once we get these guys back, this team is going to be incredible. I'm with Kenny. I hope that this was a wake-up call for the Memphis Grizzlies, and most importantly for Ja Morant. Hey, buddy, look, your value is at an all-time low. Nobody is calling and beating down the door. We're not getting massive offers. We're getting a pick, and we're getting Ryan Rollins at best. And so I hope that this was that. I said this on a $2 Sports Show a couple of weeks ago. I said that, my dad used a ton of different techniques to get to me when I was a kid, when I was being a knucklehead as a teenager. Maybe this is just that was one of them. Maybe this was the smack in the back of the head that Ja Morant needed to wake up, play consistently, and be that guy again for this Grizzlies team.
Yeah, and again, as you say that, I think, that's a conversation we've had 7 or 8 times in the last 3 years. Road trips are interesting in the NBA. The NBA is a very long season, and you've seen before. I remember when I guess that was 22, 23. Everybody was young, and we were really good on the road. And the difference about road games and home games is that you're kind of stuck together. You have to be friends. You get away from the home life. You get away from family or that could be upset at your contract, or could be this, could be that, could be negative influences on you. And you're just stuck with your teammates. And like it or not, you're on this road trip, you're on this plane, you're in this bus together, and you or just hang out. It feels like a field trip. Listen, they just went to Germany and to England. There's no doubt in my mind that there's a chance out there that Ja Morant just gets with his team, gets away from reality as much as you can on a work trip, gets away from the reality of home life here and the dysfunction and the front office squabbles with a contract. You're just like, I'm going to go to Germany, hang out, see the sights, eat a schnitzel, and then I'm going to go to London where Nike has an event for me, and I'm going to go play basketball in O2 Arena where they play soccer in some of the most legendary concert venue ever, and we're just going to go play basketball on a national stage at lunchtime on a Sunday, and then we're just going to have fun while we do it. And there's a real chance that could reset you a little bit. Now, just like I would say back in the day when we were dissecting Ja in street clothes on the sidelines, and whether or not he was excited or if he was pouting, whether he was happy Ja on the bench and, jovial with Isolo and all that. I'll say the same thing now. Like, yeah, it could be good mood now, but let's see when reality does come back and you are operating in a more 9-to-5 situation.
We recognize it's not lunchtime for them, bro. We saw that, but anything that happens outside of the Continental 50, I really don't care about.
This is we've already defeated England in a war. I don't really care that they're playing on. Listen, when's the last time an English product has ever been featured in mainstream American television? Never.
You mean I have to give credence to the country that eats baked beans for breakfast with no salt and pepper on plain white toast? Get out of here.
Yeah, listen, they're not sending Wimbledon to be played in Chicago, Illinois. No, this is an American sport. You're welcome for letting us grace your presence.
I mean, that's it. How many SEC championships does Great Britain have? 0. Your point is invalid over there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. They have really bad food, really bad weather, and they have a queen. They sing they sing a national anthem to I guess now a king. They have a monarch.
Buddy, America would never. Are you kidding me? Gonna get up there and sing "Long Live the King" and reign over us? No, sir. We stacked
beta behavior.
We stacked bodies at a 3% T-tax. But anyway, listen, that's Ja Morant talk. We can keep talking about it. I'm sure we'll circle back to that. But
hold on. Wayno is Australian, which is like a subdivision of England. So
Australia is the Mississippi's of Great Britain.
Easy with the Mississippi hatred. No,
I'm from the great state.
No, I'm saying no. It's like California. If we want to dig on a state, the only difference in Australia and England is Australia has their own continent over there. Also sees God live the king or whatever. So.
Yeah. Missed me with that king behavior. No kings around here for me. But speaking of Australia, Jock Landale, man, enough has not been talked about his evolution this year from being cut by Houston basically just for nothing, and us being able to pick him up on an incredible contract. We have 2 of the best contracts in the NBA in Jock Landale and Cam Spencer for the minutes and the play and what we're getting from them. There's not really an argument. And then Jock Landale goes out there and does the little things well, where he goes out and he hoops and he bows his head and he gets rebounds. I also saw Cedric Coward snatch a rebound away from Wendell Carter Jr., which was awesome to see. We'll talk about Ced more here in a minute. But Jock Landale, 21 points, 8 boards, 3 assists off the bench. He shot 1 of 2 from 3. Drew, he had an incredible game, especially as you said earlier, and I don't want to bury this lead because you mentioned it kind of in passing earlier when I was, reaching across, you're trying to look at it. 6 offensive rebounds for the big fella from down under.
Listen, we've talked about this nonstop. It's like when you're playing John, you're playing Jaren and Cedric. Those are the 3 guys that need shots on this team right now. They're the superstars. They're the future superstars of this team. They're the straw that stirs the drink. Okay, if you're playing alongside of them, what you need to do is defend hard and somehow create possessions. And when Jock Landale gets 6 offensive rebounds, I'd love to know what the points created off those 6 offensive rebounds are, because it's just adding possessions. Let's see here. We'll do that in a minute. I want to know, Rusty, the total number of shots taken by both teams. So the Magic shot 95 shots. The Grizzlies shot 91 shots. So the Grizzlies beat the Magic by 15 points despite taking less shots. That's efficiency. That is getting good looks. That is getting second looks when you miss your first one, because a second chance opportunity is always going to be higher percentage make than a first shot opportunity.
Yeah, agreed. And Jock was a big part of a lot of those, getting those putbacks, getting those tap outs in a Steve O type role where he just gets under the goal, he bats the ball out, he grabs what he can and puts it back up. But Jock Landale continues to be a stalwart on this team. Talking about Cedric Coward. Cedric got the last second. We drew up a shot for Ced with like 4 seconds to go in the first half, heading into halftime, and the play was specifically designed for Cedric Coward. And I want to see more of that. I want to see more Cedric Coward minutes where he is the guy taking that last shot, because you get reps in high leverage situations, taking shots in high leverage situations. You're going to start making those shots in high leverage situations. And that's what Cedric Coward is for this team. He's the future 3-level scorer for us. He's the guy that, as Ja dribble drives for a layup and the defense crashes late in a game, that's your kickout option. Cedric Coward. We'll also get that from Ty Jerome, but I see a world where Cedric Coward can be our closer. As long as Ja's on the scene, we're going to call 12 in the fourth quarter. I get that. It's not what I'm advocating for, but having Cedric either being the one option in the oft circumstances when Ja Morant is not in the game, or he is the 1B option to the Ja Morant 1A drive to go get the game-winning bucket. I need to see more of that, Drew.
Yeah, and somebody asked in the chat, who won the Bane trade? I think it's fair to say, if you're just judging it based on the 2 games we've seen heads up, the Grizzlies did. Like, if anybody listened to me when we did our FanDuel segment on Thursday on the $2 Sports Show, we talked about the Desmond Bane line. I think it was like 18.5 over under. And I said borrow Mama's money and bet it on the over, because Desmond Bane loves to go nuclear against teams that have scorned him, in his opinion. And you look at Boston, Dallas, and Detroit. He always had a reason to think that they gypped him in the past, and he always went nuclear against them teams. He went for, 13 on Thursday? He went for 11 points today. He was a minus 20 in 37 minutes, 4 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. I'm not hating on Desmond Bane, but that was not what I expected.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. Desmond typically goes scorched earth on those teams who didn't draft him or didn't give him, the credit that he felt like he deserved. But we defended the crap out of Desmond Bane. He was not getting his shots up today. Memphis obviously won this trade hand over fist, because that Orlando, as Kenny said earlier, that Orlando roster is just weirdly constructed. They don't like Anthony Black's getting better. Like, it's kind of coming around. Yeah, that was shout out Powderhorn there for off the top rope. What a jerk move there. Probably as he sits there with a balding patch.
Rusty, take your hat off real quick.
Nah, see, that's why we're at. But Memphis obviously won this trade because we've got Cedric Coward, who has tremendous upside. He doesn't have T-Rex arms, as Desmond Bane's out there trying to defend like this, like a little T-Rex out there. And so you get an opportunity to get a guy with upside with one of those draft picks. We now have more draft picks to where we can go get some more role players or go after somebody. I mean, I think just like numbers to numbers, obviously Memphis won it, and we will be better in the long run because of Cedric Coward on this team.
Yeah, it's TBD. Like, listen, if we're just grading Desmond Bane versus Cedric Coward, like Desmond Bane's a better player right now than Cedric Coward. But it's all projection. You're seeing a lot of what you want to see. You want to see. You've got a lot of boxes ticked that you want to see out of Cedric Coward. But yeah, the future is going to be the deciding factor on that. But you've also got to remember, like, you've still got 3 more first round picks coming from Orlando for that trade. So, or 2 more and a pick swap, I think is what it was. So yeah, I mean, I'm all in on Cedric Coward.
Yeah, and so the Memphis Grizzlies get a big win today, 126-109 across the pond. Went over there and beat the crumpets out of the Magic, whatever they ate this week. You may know, I don't know what tea and crumpets, and they call cookies biscuits. Like, as a Mississippi guy, I am deeply offended at calling a cookie a biscuit. Like, that's the wildest thing I've ever heard in my life. They don't look alike. The true Southern American biscuit is the biscuit. The rest of the world has to change their callings, titles, whatever, not us. And so we went and beat the crumpets out of the Magic. Drew, any other big takeaways from this game today that you saw that you liked?
Listen, to your point, like, listen, if we as Grizzlies fans bellyached a lot about Oklahoma City biting our style, you know, with the post-game interview mobs and the dance parties and all that kind of stuff. And then I said, well, Oklahoma City went and won a title. It's theirs now. And I guess we have to give it up. England should just default to us. If we both call the same thing, 2 different things, they have to default to us. We won. And
we've got the receipts from 1776 through 1779 that we won the right to call them biscuits, the fluffy things your mama makes with gravy and you eat with bacon in the morning.
Yeah, and cookies are cookies. Like, it's pretty simple. If you need some help, come ask. Oh, I mean, we're sending diplomats in the forms of 2 NBA franchises to your front door. Just ask somebody, you know?
Yeah, just ask the people who are there. Shout out to my guy, Andre from Encompass Health. Appreciate you being here, man. Cool dude. Appreciate you being here in the comments as we start to wrap this show up. You know, again, chocolate chip cookies and biscuits are better in the South. I said what I said. Any basketball takeaways as we start to wind down this show, Drew?
No, other than I'm just going to do an FBI background search on the man named Powderhorn, and I will find you. I'm a man of a very specific set of skills.
And that's eating biscuits.
Yeah, that is that. Listen, my hair's not that bad. Like, I know I'm in a bad angle, but like, I got plenty of hair on top. Right?
And honestly, what that is, like, he's just got a P as his profile photo, so he's got probably worse hair that he's hiding behind this fake face.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're gonna come at me, use your real name. Powderhorn. If your name is Lorenzo von Powderhorn, then I apologize. But I guarantee you, it's like Jeff Mills, and you've got the horseshoe and a big wife. I mean, like nobody shoots arrows at people unless they're feeling pretty damaged themselves.
That's exactly.
I got a house full of kids and a sexy wife. Like, you ain't gonna get me down because I got fewer hair than I had a few years ago.
That's exactly right. Well, hey, we appreciate y'all being here. We go live after every Memphis Grizzlies game in the post-game bounce setting like this, where you can come and talk about our hair, talk about biscuits, talk about Ja Morant, talk about whatever you want to talk about. We will interact with you as we love hanging out with our friends in the comments. Y'all drive these shows and make them better for sure.
Our friends in the comments and Powderhorn.
Hey, that's exactly right. The Memphis Grizzlies lace them up again Wednesday night at home against the Atlanta Hawks. Opportunity to get a win streak going on our. Hey, shout out Andre. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you being here, buddy. Again, all of y'all in the comments, thank y'all so much. Andre's my guy. We work together now at the hospital, my weekend job. Super cool dude. Big football fan. Really, really cool guy. But all of y'all, appreciate y'all being here. If you're here, give us a thumbs up. You're still hanging out with us. On your way out the door, give us that thumbs up. It helps us more than you know. Subscribe to the channel. Turn those notifications on so you know when we go live. We go live at 7:30, 11, and 1 p.m. every weekday. We've got a litany of shows sprinkled in there as well, talking about the Tigers. We got a show with Brevin Knight and Rob Fisher, the Night Court. Y'all come hang out and talk with us. But again, we'll be back Wednesday night on the post-game bounce after the Atlanta Hawks game. Drew, I want to see us get a win in the FedEx Forum, and let's keep the momentum going at home.
Ain't no doubt about that. Listen, Orlando. I'm still in Orlando. We just played a back-to-back with them. Atlanta's another team that's kind of in disarray. They are on the other side of theirs. Trae Young was a malcontent, wanted to be traded, expressed he wanted to be traded because of a contract. They traded him. They're out the other side now, and they've got Corey Kispert and C.J. McCollum as their prize. And so it's going to be interesting to see what they look like. They've got a good team, a good core. I like what they're doing with their young guys with Jalen Johnson and Dyson, what they've done with Dyson Daniels and Reese Shea, all those.
Not made a three-pointer since like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, neither is John until today. So he can turn around for anybody. So that was I'm excited about that game. I think you can look at that optically and off the basketball court, kind of to see some parallels as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see him come back to the States, and hopefully to see that we can string a few good days together. You know, a lot of times when you come out of a difficult situation, it's just about doing the right thing one day, and then you make that one day 2 days, and then if you can make it 7 days, then maybe you can make it 14 days, and that's what this is about right now, because the Grizzlies, you know, the record is what the record is. The storyline will always be Ja Morant and the camaraderie or the union between him and the front office and what that looks forward to, or what that looks like going forward. It just stack up some days here, man. Like, win some fans back. It's never a good thing to have a fan base as loyal as the Memphis Grizzlies fan base be on the wrong side of things. So just come back and start stacking good days together.
That's it, man. That's it. Like, go get some good PR, get some good, like, goodwill back with the fan base with a big home win Wednesday night. Y'all come hang out with us then. In the meantime, for Drew, Kenny, and the whole gang here at Bluff City Media, y'all go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And we'll see y'all tomorrow on our live show.